we certainly don't need you dizzy.
I'm dizzy enough without the spinning of the chair or the tequila to start the day. Right?
You don't.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
This is a little different setup for me and Frankie.
Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to episode 144, live from Rams. We are coming to you live from inside the lounge. And today, we are
Look where we are,
officially sitting at the bar.
Look where we are. Barflies across New York are ecstatic.
So effective Monday, we were able to start sitting at the bar here in New York, which is an exciting thing. So we decided to come to you live. That you can sit at the bar as long as you are 6 feet away from the other adjacent party. We all know what happens in a bar, so we're doing what we can.
And now, added bonus, you do not need to order food, so you can get all of your calories from the liquid, which is great.
Naz is on a mission today.
No mission. I am going to enjoy some...
Dennis, yes, there is tequila on set today.
Yep.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Dennis was asking me tonight how we were celebrating Cinco de Mayo, and it looks like I'm celebrating it here. right now.
Right now. Why not start early?
So a year ago on Cinco de Mayo, we were out on the lanes doing the show. We did sample some tequilas. If I remember, there was Don Julio, there was Patron, and Nazareth.
I don't think I made it through a shot and a half.
I don't think you made it to the show. You made it to the show.
No, but I think a shot and a half was pretty much my limit.
So today, I presented you a margarita.
You have.
Fresh handmade margarita. You're welcome.
One thing I can say.
I'm sorry.
No,
in both liquid and Jello form. Which
everybody knows, if you know me. It's my favorite form of alcohol because I'm like a 17-year-old. That's why. One thing I think the pandemic has helped us all with, which may or may not be so good, is the ability to hold some more alcohol. Yeah. I don't think alcohol sales suffered over the course of the last year.
No, alcohol sales really well for most part. For restaurants that were open and doing takeout, alcohol sales, but even though people could consume at home, I mean, it was still nice to have the cash and carry, carry out, the liquor, because you want. I mean, a lot of these places make special cocktails.
Right. Correct.
I mean, to make a margarita at home, you still have to have a skill.
And it's not the same. It's not the same as having it poured in that glass.
Yeah, no. And the liquor companies, all the distributors, the stores, all were talking about how the sales are great. So, interestingly enough, we're now. You can't get certain products. There is even food and beverage products we're having a hard time getting.
And we'll discuss this later, but there were suddenly odd shortages of things post-pandemic.
Oh, well, so what I'm referring to, so with alcohol and food, so right now, Miller Coors as a company has slowed down production, and specifically on tap beer products. So kegs, we weren't for a period of time. We couldn't get kegs.
Bars were essentially closed.
Yeah, we weren't really essential enough.
Right, correct.
To be open without bars. But I mean, you weren't. I mean, and if you were taking out beer, you weren't really taking out beer. You're taking out
right.
Unless there was a specialty beer like our friends at Flagship who were able to ship out their beer and were doing both.
That was great for them to be able to do that.
The shortage now on food, we have. Actually, PepsiCo has a shortage on some product.
Yep.
So we're now seeing that you can't get crazy in parts of this country. Dr. Pepper is a huge product.
And Mountain Dew,
and they cannot get it. Did you see that on the forum?
I saw it on the forum.
So we have a proprietors forum here on Facebook, and there was a proprietor who was really upset about not being able to get Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper, and this has been going on for a little while now.
Yeah.
So it's not anybody's fault. So of course our account rep at BPA, who's amazing, Amy piped in and made sure that they knew, hey, by the way, this is nothing. This isn't just
you, right?
This is something that's happening nationwide, and so that's just one. We had a coin. Now let's reverse. We had a coin shortage. We had beer and alcohol shortage. soft drink, soft shortages. What other shortages might be added to that list, Nazareth?
Well, let's add chlorine.
What?
For your pool. Pool chlorine. There's a shortage of pool chlorine.
Really?
Yep, it's been on. Frank, how do you miss these things?
I missed that.
You missed that.
I don't buy
totally.
chlorine. We've got a soap.
Well, I do also, but I do use chlorine to shock my pool occasionally. And yeah, there's a big shortage.
But so Frank,
Lumber was the next thing I was going to bring up. Very good.
But during the pandemic, more so lumber, and now, hi
The
Frank.
price is incredible.
Well, so the price is incredible. We were just having this. We had this was actually a little bit of a. What is that noise?
You hear a little chirping?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something in this.
Yeah, it sounds like a bird or a
So
small animal.
at Easter dinner, we had a little bit of
A discussion?
a quaff. It was a bit of a. That was an argument.
Well, it was a passionate discussion.
Well, yeah. So
I like that.
So Jeff's a home builder, and so we were talking about buying. So here, lumber's a great example because it's not the only thing.
Right.
But the price, and I think we talked about this a while ago, but the price of gas going up affects everything else.
And that's something that
And
people
many
do not realize.
I have no clue. So Jeff's a builder, and we're talking about him building homes and needing product and can't buy product, but now gave an estimate on a project.
Oh, before.
Let's say the estimate was $150,000 for this project.
Right.
Today, it's now $200,000
Yeah,
as a result of
yeah.
the cost of the lumber and now home
Yeah.
builders, which, I mean, if you look at the real estate market, it's pretty incredible right now, but
Yeah.
the home builders are in the same boat. They bought this property, they were going to build these houses and start these projects
Yeah.
at X cost, and now,
Yeah. So many things that, in the everyday course of life, when you're in your own world bubble, you don't think of how one small thing makes a difference. And, I know that the price of gasoline is a big point with some people, feeling that the new administration has brought in this rise in prices and some of their policies, but it's actually not, and it's still not as high as it was pre-pandemic. I mean, prices plunged during the pandemic because people weren't driving anywhere. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I kind of missed that.
pre-pandemic, they were. I haven't paid $50 for a tank of gas in a really long time, and then we were driving during the pandemic, so we were filling up. Others weren't, so that is huge. And the crazy part about rising gas prices, because it's a mix. It is certainly a political mix along with everything else. However, you would think that it's the opposite. It would go the opposite
But
way.
it doesn't.
When there is a supply and demand, right? So now we've had all this supply, and now we can't get rid of it because you've been locked up. Why should we pay more? And that's where everything else, gas.
Because the way gas works, from what I've been told by people who supposedly know what they're talking about, is those prices rise as demand rises. It's not. That's the way it is. The more you need it, the higher the price is going to go. So
Which I understand that to an extent, right?
Right.
And then so even I look at airlines. So airlines purchase gas X time before. So when you get really low airfare, you know what? Cheers.
before we get any further into the discussion.
Oh, so before?
Oh, Frank.
No.
It's good.
So how old are you? Happy Cinco de Mayo. When you get really cheap airfare, they bought gas price at a really low price.
Right.
And then when you start seeing the increase, but it's because they purchase gas, it's call it 3 years in advance,
Yes.
and they go through. It is interesting, but it's happened. Now we're having this ripple effect on so many different things.
Yeah.
Where you would just never know. And the lumber thing, people were home doing home improvement.
Oh, the sanitation. Department of Sanitation from New York. I mean, that's all I heard from guys was everybody's renovating their house.
Holy garbage.
Right. There was garbage everywhere, and my garbage pickup was always nice and steady on time. Then it got to a point where my garbage was sitting in front of my house for like 2 days, 3 days sometimes, and I'll be like, I'm gonna have to take it back up because I can't have it sitting there. But they were just overwhelmed with the amount of.
And then as we go through this, they've been backed up more so because of the cleaning of the trucks. It's gotten much better now.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where if guys were getting sick, girls were
And
getting
then
sick,
we had that.
the backup of the
Yes.
trucks on top of all this extra garbage. I mean, you still see.
Absolutely.
I'm really interested to see how this summer goes. Now, we do, in my professional opinion, based on what we've seen in 8, 9, 10, 11, people stayed home. So now you think about what happened in 2008, right? And now where we are today, you can almost mirror, in some cases, where we're at. People did not travel, right? Because they couldn't afford it, whatever, they weren't comfortable. In this case, I think the mirror is people aren't going to feel comfortable completely traveling, just from a health perspective, not necessarily a financial perspective, but I think it's a mix. I just think people are going to be doing more staycations, going to the shore.
More driving.
Absolutely. Not getting on a plane. So the majority of people will be around. So that I think that's part of that. That would be great for local business. My point, I would love to see who built their beautiful gardens last year.
Oh, yes.
Are they going to
still
keep up
bring them up
with their gardens this year?
Yes.
I saw tons and tons of amazing photos of people's gardens, even us included a little bit. And then here, I spent more time out in that garden last year than I ever did.
Well, that's gonna be trimmed down a little bit. But listen, I just went through mine this weekend and turned over my dirt and getting ready for my plants. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I mean, we just bought some new planters, and so, I mean, we do pots, and so now we bought some planters. They're on the side of the house, they'll be great once they get up and running.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, now you made time to do so many different things. Can you keep up with it?
And how do you pick the things that, so many people did so many different things that, tried different things. Like, how do you pick the things that, did you find something that really you wouldn't have ordinarily done? But you're like, I'm so glad that's back in my life now. There was a segment on the Seth Meyers last night. It was called, I think it was Seth Meyers. It was COVID Keepers, and all of the things that we want to keep in place after COVID is gone. But it wasn't like projects and stuff like that. It was, like fist bumps or elbow bumps.
Okay.
And it was really funny. It was so true.
Some people should wear masks for the rest of their lives.
One of the things he said, it stuck in my head. He was like, and he wants elbow bumps to stay because he said, I'm pretty sure. One sec, Frank, and I'm already giggling. Anyway, he said, I'm pretty sure. Yes, let's hydrate. I'm pretty sure you didn't have your elbow down your pants 5 minutes ago. So, anyway, I'm sorry if you couldn't understand that. Frankie will repeat it and translate. So.
Basically, you didn't have your elbow in your pants.
That's pretty much what he said.
That's hysterical.
Yeah,
well, listen, you've heard me say this before, I truly have lost faith in people that we have to tell them to wash their hands, so that goes right into that. I mean, there are a lot of things that the pandemic has brought that I think businesses and individuals and
absolutely,
which I think is great. The way we found them, not so great, but I think it'll just be interesting to see, even from a business perspective. You want to hope that restaurants and bowling centers and all these facilities keep up with specific things that maybe they weren't doing before, but now have it open up. It's opened our eyes to so many different things. And how do you learn from that? I'll tell you, from one perspective, from what we do, we've always taken reservations online, and a prepaid reservation, and it worked. We used to charge a fee for it because it was a convenience that we guaranteed your lane. Today, we did away with the convenience fee because now we really were trying to push for online paid reservations to help you and us. Yeah. So, because we're subjected to 50% using every other lane, all of those things, plus it created a contactless payment. Right. So we only offered that during specific times as a convenience. Now we've opened the floodgates and it's available at all times. Yeah. That's something that's going to stick for us because now we've learned how to operate that.
That's a COVID keeper.
That's a COVID keeper. That's a legitimate COVID
That's
keeper. Now, elbow bumps and fist bumps should stay. I'm all for that. I think masks should stay for certain people. It does help keep
I don't know how we ever police that. I will tell you what, there's a little
I keep their mouth shut. That's all. I keep their mouth shut.
And you really can't hear what they're saying anyway. What is a little discerning to me, I've noticed, like over the last couple of weeks, people are kind of letting their guard down a little bit. And I understand a lot of us are vaccinated already, and that's fine. But I've had to have more mask talks
Yeah.
in the last week or two than probably since the beginning. And people are just more comfortable, and that's great. We want people to come here and feel comfortable. But on the other hand, you have to understand that this is still the policy that's in place, and it's important to make other people feel comfortable when they're in the building. So, everybody very kindly obliges when we ask, but you can definitely see that.
No.
And listen, it's even happened to me and Frank, because I'll just walk out of my office without my mask on, and I come back in and I say to Frankie, "Oh, I just walked out there like it was 2019." So.
What's true. And I will tell you, I'm not, I do struggle with the lifting of the mask mandate to an extent. We've been talking about this for a while now.
Yeah.
But one of the things, I have traveled to Texas this past week, and it's lifted, but many of the major corporations still have a mask mandate in place, and it's very hard to manage. I walked into the Hilton. There were three of us together. Two of us had masks on. One, she didn't care. She walked in, no problem. Now, in that case, I feel the same way. At the same time, I was walking up to the counter to check in. I'm going to put my mask on and be respectful of the policy in place. I got up, I put my mask on. I mean, it's just what we do. But I will tell you, just walking around anywhere in that facility, it was more like 75-25 wearing masks, not wearing masks.
Oh, okay.
And again,
Okay.
no, 25% wearing masks.
Oh, okay. Oh, well,
So
yeah.
now the company has a policy in place that when you walk through this building, you're supposed to wear it. So, I mean, the only place not that they felt uncomfortable, but be respectful is the elevator. It's a small space. There were 5 people in the elevator. Come on in. I'm like, okay, you guys
go. Yeah, I'll wait till.
And I don't want them, and I do that too, because even though you're welcoming me, are you really comfortable with that?
Right.
I mean, I'm being nice, and I'm being, only because we're in this environment, you see that. You have to be aware of not only yours, we've always needed to be aware of our surroundings.
Right.
But I think you just need to have some respect for that. And so if they lifted the mask gate tomorrow, wonderful. We have to either be in
or out. Yeah.
You can't have both. It doesn't work from a policing standpoint. To your point,
Right.
Here,
right.
It's still in place, but the problem is you sit, you eat, and you drink. After a few drinks, you get up from the table. You don't have the mask on. It's like, okay, if you're going to walk past people, you need to have the mask on. And if it's lifted, that's fine. Let people make their choice.
I totally agree.
You're going to make a choice to wear the mask for all, great. I'm going to make a choice.
Right.
Like, I might only wear it certain places.
Correct.
Fine. But it's just, hey, we're getting to a point that's going to get lifted.
Yeah.
I don't think I think that's going to be the last things.
Yeah.
How far does that
agree.
go? And then it's now become, when we travel, you see it all the time. I used to see it often. Now it's going to be more of an accepted thing with travel. It's really interesting. Hey, so you brought up the COVID keepers then. So anybody watching, share in the chat your
COVID keeper.
What you would want to keep from COVID. Now I've shared mine. Hey, Fran, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If there's one thing from COVID that we've learned through this pandemic that you'd want to keep, what is it?
Either personally,
Their hands.
Wash your
hand
hands.
washing. Well, yes. It goes without saying that should have been.
Nobody washed their hands before this.
Right. Well, we were just saying, Fran says wash your hands because nobody washed their hands before this, for sure.
As Frankie said, makes you lose faith in
Human.
in humanity.
So share your COVID keepers. We want to know those. But the past 2 weeks, we've got a lot of changes in restrictions. Digital transformation. Frank, elaborate on that, because I think there's in your work. I mean, you do it, you see it, and so have we. So there's a lot of things that's happened in the digital space that we wouldn't accept right away. And I'll use virtual meetings for example. We didn't accept the virtual meeting because we've always felt like we had to be in person.
Right.
And I could argue both sides.
Absolutely.
Online ordering, telehealth, without a doubt. So we've talked. So back up a second. Online ordering. We've been using ShopRite Home for a long time.
Yep.
Big fan of it.
Yep.
They bring the heavy stuff. I don't get my produce. I don't get my
the stuff you shop for during the week.
Right. But that stuff, great. You should bring it to my house. We learned we navigated Costco delivery.
Yeah.
I now spend less in Costco because now I'm not tempted. But
Correct. Because you won't pass
everything snacks and something. It's on my desk. It's ready now. Thank you. It's on the side. So I don't know. I don't have a reason to go back to that store. So 100%. Remote learning. My only issue with remote learning.
I don't.
Can we give these kids their school days?
I think remote learning is a wonderful tool for certain things and for certain segments of the population.
Yeah.
Do I think it's a good thing for young people who are learning to socialize and kind of be in a social settings and learn how to navigate that? I think it's horrible. I mean, I honestly feel for kids who are going through this right now. It's a big part of growing up and just learning to be a social person. So yeah, I don't like it for that. But
Working
for
from home.
working from, and that that's again, it's one of those things that affected so many ancillary issues outside of just the company that it affects, affecting real estate, affecting rentals, affecting the businesses that support these businesses that are no longer there.
Those are all the, think about all, we just talked about that. Think of all the things that it affects.
Yep,
that
ripple effect.
That ripple effect, all those items. They're great things. And so
Yeah.
how do we use
There's
them
a place
to
for
our
them, right?
So I was saying like the virtual meeting. One of the things that and I'll use my experience at USBC. National board, 20 people from all over the country. We've been meeting virtually. Committees meeting virtually. And that's great. But the problem is on the Zoom, the GoToMeeting, whatever it is, I can't sit in the meeting room and go, Dennis, what are they talking about?
Right.
I have to text you. And I can't even, it's so new
And
people.
now, right.
So to your point about the kids, the same thing's for adults.
Yes.
Somebody new in a role can't learn effectively about anything because now you can't sit
And
there.
it's not like you have a mentor. Like you would
No
mentor
mentor.
somebody, right?
You have the whole way talk. When you take a break from the meeting, you can ask on the break.
Correct.
You go to dinner together. The best conversations happen at this place right here.
This is something that we've said forever.
Whether you drink or not.
Going away to conferences and going away to conventions concerning your business. I mean, you can sit in a conference room and listen to everything everybody has to say, but when that breaks down and people are off the clock, as they say, and they're sitting around, how much information has been gleaned from those conversations? Is that, to me, you're right, that's where the real sharing of information comes from.
Yeah, so there's room.
Okay.
There's room for both. Well, yeah. So you don't have to, in certain meetings you take place, you don't have to travel for. I mean, that's fine. So now you have this, and I will tell you, we've used it to the best advantage. Sadly, Nazareth sits in the office and has to listen to it because I don't use earbuds. So, I mean, everybody that walks in the office hears what's going on, so to an extent. But it's a challenge. It's a good thing and a challenge. So now we've been away from conference calls. We're doing video call. But I will tell you, even with the video call, people are not completely engaged because they are in their environment.
That's the other thing I was going to say.
Hillary hit something. That's a good point. Cooking more at home, spending less money because we are doing less stuff. Terry almost made an announcement in the bar. I might take the phone away from her after last week. So I was going to say cooking at home because we cook so much. I actually lost weight from cooking. I mean, thankfully I kept most of it off, but cooked at home. We did early. We did the things. It was at family time. We spent more time with the family. So those are things. So now, how do you take that and keep those elements? And this last 8 months, whatever that, no, it's 14 months.
Yeah, thank you.
We finally, we've been so busy because, and everybody's busy. Everybody's busy, and I'm referring, when I say we, I mean everybody. Your life's changed. Yeah. You now have an adjusted work life, you have an adjusted home life. If you operate a business, for us, we're doing more because we have less people. To an extent, you're doing more because these regulations are making you do more.
Right, exactly.
And every time, we spend so much time and energy working towards the regulations, doing the right things, and then also disseminating, like today. I mean, so I was getting to the point I was getting to. rewind. Was that in the last 2 weeks, we've announced a lot of changes in restrictions, which is wonderful. Now, even today, the governor was speaking a little while ago, and I got some text messages, and apparently, right now, this is okay. We can now sit without a mask, without being 6 feet apart, if you're vaccinated.
Say that again?
So now here's the next public crisis, because we already have one. We told people they don't have to wear their mask outside, right?
Which I don't
I'm
problem.
not arguing that.
Okay, yeah.
My point is we say X.
Correct. And then,
What does it mean if you're not vaccinated? People that aren't vaccinated will are
and how are
vaccinated.
you gonna, right,
You
and
can't
how
do
are
this.
you- right.
Now we're saying that if you are, where are we? If you are vaccinated, people can sit next to each other, and if you want to leave your mask off, you can. No more 6 feet apart. Now, this specific case is talking about stadiums.
Well, in a stadium setting,
So now, if we go to the game together,
okay,
you're not vaccinated and I'm vaccinated, or vice versa.
so they would have to really, I think, make that work. Because right now, to get into the city, at least City Field, and I believe Yankee Stadium is the same, and a lot of the stadiums are, that you have to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test within the last 72 hours. So if they change that and took out the negative test, then everybody can sit together with no restriction.
Yeah, but how do you police that? How do you know? What do you, if you're not vaccinated, you're going to sit in those places while we sit down?
No, you can't go in.
And here's the thing.
That's the problem.
I'm going to go with my friends. Now, we went three people last game, 2 vaccinated, one half vaccinated, but had to get tested.
Right.
We sat next to each other, no problem. They did not. I could have walked in with a card that said Juan Rodriguez.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They did not look at the name. They did not tie it to the ticket. I could have walked in with
I agree.
Sarah Miller's vaccination card.
Yeah.
And what did you question me because I'm not a female? Well, how do you know how I identify? I mean, I'm not making a joke, but I'm seriously.
Yeah.
They're
And you
not.
can even, yeah, I agree.
So, and again, you want to create a safe environment. I'm all about it. I just ask for consistency. We're not consistent. So I agree with the remote learning piece. So Frank's talking about remote learning. He agrees with Naz because I do as well. I just don't like the fact that these kids, the emergency, now there's no days, give the kid a day off. But now that's become a remote learning day. You know, those were days that you looked forward to. You had once.
So, but if you think about
give
it,
the kid a day off.
again, if
Out of
you
the
think
screen.
about it,
Give the kid away from the screen.
that could essentially change the school year without election day, without snow days, without those days being taken out of the school calendar. There's an option for school to end earlier.
But they don't. Public school, I mean, the date is always going to be the same. They don't. So
Well,
public school
no,
system,
this year it's ending the 28th.
it's always the same week, the last week of June.
It is always
They
the same
don't.
week.
They don't. So now the parochial
They
schools do that.
could, but
They could,
what I'm saying
but
is
they
they
don't,
could,
and they're not going.
because they build some of them into the schedule.
Sorry, Claudia.
No, it's
I just want
okay.
to let you know the ladies' room sink water won't stop running.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, you do?
Okay, it'll go up. We'll check it out.
Oh, okay. All right. Happy Mother's Day. You too, Frank.
Happy Mother's Day
Thank you.
and congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I'm shocked about that.
Very well
Should not be
deserved.
shocked. You ladies work. Right now, come on and say hello, Annette. Come on.
Oh, God.
Just say hello. Frankie, tell them who we have with us today.
Oh, so the
Annette.
one and only Annette Antico. You take your mask off.
Oh, okay.
We're
Yeah, we're
good. So we were saying the sinking ladies of the water's running. So thank you. Annette. We have to adjust the.
We love being told. and
I'm
we can't
doing
fix
my
it.
civic duty, you
Oh,
know?
We can't fix it
That's
if we don't know.
I can't wait to do the bathrooms over. That's coming at some point. So anyway, at the end of the month, oh my God, it's May already. May 28th, 26th, 28th. Stanley SBC is holding our annual championship awards.
Yes, we are.
We have
Excitingly.
some awards, service to bowling, and one of those awards, our league officers of the year, and standing with us today, one of our league officers of the year is fantastic.
So,
And that Antica, her and her sidekick Nella, for their hard work and dedication to keeping their league alive. And
It's not easy.
and listen, there's so many things that happen now that are a challenge for moving forward. And especially, and I want to single you out, but especially in your group of ladies, it's an older population, and I mean, you have a natural, people losing interest or people dropping out, but you've held steady with the same ladies that some of them go back to the league years and years and years. So I know that takes a lot of work. And obviously, you guys make it fun for them because, whether, as soon as they come, as soon as they are able to come back, if they do have to take time off, they're like, oh, I'm coming back to Bowling.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, they do.
There's no thought about, well, I don't think I'm coming back. They want to be here. So
Yeah, it's fun. We have a good time. We do.
that's what it's
For that we do.
Yeah, we do.
We know what's.
Sometimes we kill each other.
But that's part of it. It's the family
Yeah,
aspect.
it's the family aspect.
Just like family.
So it's awesome. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you guys. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Oh,
Mother's
Have a good one.
We'll see you
See
later.
you
All
later.
right, thank you.
Mother's Day. It's amazing. That time flies when we're just having fun.
Yeah, I know. Have fun, guys.
See you later. So that event's Friday, May 28th.
Yeah, 8th.
I can't remember why is that.
I know. You got
Staten.
26 in your head.
We're honoring our tournament champions from last year and this year. And so it's going. We have 3 new additions to the Hall of Fame this year. 2 of them last year at this time. We had Jim and Dan on the show via phone announcing those winners. And then this year, third addition to the Hall of Fame class, single for 2021, Jeff Charest. So Jim Scopia, Jeff Charest, and Tim McCullough Jr. are getting there.
Quite a heavy list of accomplishments between them.
So COVID keepers, virtual meetings, all of these things, great. So there's ways to do it. No different than the virtual meeting, I traveled to Texas for the USBC virtual convention. And it was a virtual convention.
But it's pretty cool.
Yeah. However, I mean, if you did participate, you saw that the participation certainly was less than it would be in person. And so this has been something that associations have come to USBC saying, we can't afford to travel, we can't do this, we can't do that. Can we vote remotely?
Well, there you go. Now you got it.
Well, we did it, and they didn't participate to the extent that we would have hoped to.
Correct.
So now and what happens with conventions, the most engaged will always engage no matter what.
Correct.
So that's what that proved. Now it did prove we had some small associations that didn't participate, but for the most part, it was the same people, same associations. And when you do virtual meetings like that, it gives people an excuse to not do something. And that's always my concern in this space. So there's ways to do it. There could be, I think what we'll see is our hybrids, no different than our Rotary meetings every Thursday.
Right, well, a mix.
We meet in person, we set this up, and there's a few folks that come on Zoom. It's allowed us to bring in speakers from anywhere in the world to speak to the group. So it's certainly different. So it's, again, how do you make the best of it?
Yeah, we met as a group here, our little group of delegates. We set it up on the screen after, so I spent the day with Jim and Dan, and of the 3 of us, they outdrink me. It's not even, I'll have 1 drink and they'll have 10. So that day I could have outdrank them because there was just, it was wonderful to have it. It was different. It's so much, the experience is so different. I'm going to be honest, and I'm like one of those kind of mushy kind of people where I like I don't want to say pomp and circumstance of the whole thing, but I didn't feel the weight of the vote and I just, it's different what, I want to be in the room where it happens. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, we were in a different room, and it happened there, but it wasn't quite the same. It was different.
In-person events, you lose the people-to-people touch, people that you don't see for a long time.
And that's oh my God.
And that's again, we go back to the bar, where when you travel and you're with people, you have great conversations, and those are the things that you bring home. Frank, another great point. Are the exhibitors and the vendors? I mean, you missed that opportunity to see demos, new products, and have conversations. Now, the cool thing about this convention, over the few days, you had 2 opportunities to visit with vendors, and it was basically a Zoom call. The vendor was there, he could have had a presentation, and you popped in and out, whoever you wanted to, but you were able to ask virtually. I mean,
Right.
again, it doesn't match
It's not
this.
right. Right.
Whereas people attend the convention, they have a check to BDL, they present a check, they do this. I mean,
Yeah.
you
It's
lose
the
out.
you lose. I really feel like you lose out in the engagement. And listen, Jennifer's right. You can't force people to care. You really can't.
No.
And the human interaction in general. And I think that that poses right into
Well, that's a whole nother. I mean,
flows into the struggle that so many people have had over the last year, being isolated so badly. And although things are starting to lift, there are still people that are struggling with that transition. And now, after they've been out of work or out of their office, and now the thought of going back to that office, and just the anxiety, for people who suffer from anxiety, it's a lot. And this is May is National Mental Health Month, and I hope that if we can reach out to someone who is struggling or maybe isolated. People tend to isolate themselves in general, in people who struggle, and this last year has been horrendous. So anxiety times a million, correct? So just, hey, Frank and I just say it all the time, all of last year, pick up the phone and call somebody. You haven't spoke to them for a little while. You don't even have to pick up the phone. Send them a little message. How you doing? We haven't spoke for a little while. I know I picked up the phone yesterday and spoke to my friend who moved away several months ago, and oh my God, I miss her so much. And I got off that phone call and I felt like a different person, and I know she did too. And I was so glad I did it. So don't miss out on the opportunity to pick up the phone.
well, yeah, being locked up and social anxiety. I mean, we have another friend that means severe social anxiety, and they don't even realize it. And that so people getting out back in public is, I mean, just they need the hand. You talk about going back to work. Our friend Mark Party posted a photo this morning, 2 photos. He went back to work for the first time in a year, and oh God.
It went out of your head. It's gone.
His caption was looking forward to cleaning out the food,
I'm sitting
the
in the
snacks
fridge.
that have been sitting in the fridge and the drawers. And then he posted a photo of all the mail. And there's stacks of mail in the office. Essentially, I would hope that
Somebody's going to
Some
take
of
up
it's
the
open,
essential
people that went there.
stuff, right?
but it's certainly real when you do go.
Yeah.
Those that do go back, if you get to go back, or if you just go back to clean out, and you're going to be permanently working from home, because that's going to happen too.
And in addition to that, I was talking to somebody last week, and they were telling me that their workspace wanted to change the way that they operate, and they asked them, would we don't want you to come back in yet 5 days a week, but we're gonna alternate maybe you 3 days and another worker 2 days. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a community desk thing, and you're gonna maybe share your desk with somebody else, and so it's gonna be very different for some people.
Without a doubt.
And companies have learned that they can operate on a different level, and with being able to reduce their overhead. So probably some of them are going to try to. Those are going to be COVID keepers for some of them too.
Mm-hmm.
So but on the other hand, some of them are in they're in businesses where they do need people to come in. So that should be very interesting.
And we even last year, back to March, 15 days to flatten the curve. 15 days,
yeah,
right? It was 2 weeks,
never.
and then it was another 2 weeks and 2 weeks. And and at the time we were all positive. No problem. We'll get through it. We'll figure it out. We're going to push through to have these events, and then it was, we really worked day by day to figure out what we were going to do. And I think we still have to do that, but at the same time, now's the time we need to push forward as much as we can to get back to reality and where we were before to an extent with this new adjusted normal, whatever you want to call it, adjusted life with COVID keepers. But we need to now just push,
Right.
push.
And keep at the same time, and I think we're in a good
Not let
place.
your guard down. Just
Right, and we're in a good place where we rely on science here. We believe what they're telling us, and pushing forward, but keeping all of these safe guidelines in mind. And we just want everybody else to do the same.
So today we're having margaritas at Cinco de Mayo. We have Jello shots. We didn't get to those yet. And we also, if anybody noticed, the return of the diffuser. It's just been that kind of week.
Oh, we actually, if they had an industrial fog, one of these would be really good. Yeah.
But it's not Thursday. It is Wednesday, so we don't want to confuse anybody. So we are here on Wednesday, and so Live from Rabs is going to pop up at weekly at whatever time. We were going to come live on Monday. That didn't work out, so here we are on Cinco de Mayo. Restrictions in place. So started Monday, we can sit at the bar. You can sit at the bar as long as you are 6 feet away from another party. You cannot stand and drink and eat at the bar.
Really?
You have to be seated.
Really? Yes.
And on Friday,
What, is that so they can control how many people are at the bar?
I think it's capacity.
Yeah.
So whether or not that lifts at 100%, I don't know. So Friday, restaurants go to 75%. Again, argue this or not, whatever it is, no matter what, even at 100%, if restaurants are still doing the right thing, tables 6 feet apart,
Still
are
gonna
still
limit.
6 feet apart, and
Right.
still limit capacities. Now, we've all seen restaurants push the envelope and whatever the situation may be. We are going to have to make, as consumers, make choices where you are comfortable going and where you're not. But today we can sit at a bar. We can put 25% more people in a restaurant on Friday, and then May 19th goes to 100% capacity, and with social distancing still plays and all the other measures of cleaning, sanitizing, and all those things.
All that stuff still.
For those of inquiring minds, we've been answering questions the last few days. We still don't know what it completely means for the bowling aspect of what we do. So when we know more, we will share, and that'll be a conversation that we will have with each league. If there's an opportunity to start using more lanes, that's a wonderful thing, and we need to start getting back to normal to the best of our ability. But we don't know. We read the restrictions in two different ways.
Right.
We read them where it says, yes, you can go back to 100% doing X, Y, and Z, and then no, industry-specific guidelines stay in place. So we don't know. The governor did speak again today. They're starting to clarify more on this vaccinated, not vaccinated, mask wearing, 6 feet, 3 feet, whatever it might be. And that's confusing because in the school systems, there's a 3-foot rule, there's a 6-foot rule. People better brush up on their courtesy. That's funny. You know what, Jennifer? I hope that this taught people we don't need to give 2-3 lanes courtesy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a 1 lane.
I hate to tell you, it's going to be brutal.
It is.
When we go
But
back.
I'm a 1 lane.
I'm a 1
I'm not
lane
waiting
too.
2
Not
lanes.
everybody
I'm
is
sorry.
like that.
I'm not waiting 2 lanes. There's no reason for me to wait 2
No.
lanes. You want to wait 2 lanes? You
You
wait. 2
wait.
lanes. If you're up here and I'll wait.
And I don't even wait for the next pair.
Oh God,
If I'm on the right lane, I'm gonna wait 1 lane, not 1 pair, 1 lane to the left, 1 lane to the right, and then I'm gonna go.
no. The best thing that people could do is go bowl a national tournament. And because you bowl a national tournament, it's 1 lane courtesy.
And somehow it magically flows.
It's not an issue.
It magically just flows, and people are used to the flow.
And crazy now, we're skipping pairs.
Oh.
I don't even look.
I don't even look
But
either.
there are some that
I still see people, and the only time that I will hesitate is if I know I'm bowling near somebody who I know maybe is further back on the approach than me, or kind of is a little bit leery about it. So I'll just go.
No.
That's good. That's the way it should be.
Because you know what?
That's the way it should be.
My thought process, I'm looking forward.
That's where you should be looking.
If I'm looking at my market, I'm looking forward. I don't care what the hell's going on.
You know, there's
inside.
some people that need the what do they call them? Blinkers that they put on the
blinders.
racehorses? Blinders, yeah.
You know what? That might be a good idea. I'm surprised Jennifer didn't suggest that. We might have to put blinders on people like we do the horses. And speaking of horses,
Oh,
Kentucky Derby happened Saturday.
crazy was that race?
I was excited. I actually, I was upstate New York in Syracuse. It was after the New York State Youth Championship tournament. We didn't get to come home Saturday night. We were in the bowling center late. So Lizzie Hart and I went for dinner. We sat at a bar. Now, upstate New York, they were sitting at bars with partitions. It was very nice. It was a very nice setup.
Right.
So we had, originally we had the Mets here and something else here.
Louis was probably not happy about that.
So then the Yankees weren't on yet.
Yeah,
But the Yankees didn't play
probably still
Saturday.
wasn't happy.
So now, then they put the Derby. The Mets stayed here. They put the Derby here. I was in heaven.
What else do you need?
So I got to watch the Mets.
Derby, Mets,
And
food and drink.
I got to bet on it. I mean, TVG's got the wonderful app. You can bet the horses.
Oh, I didn't say.
Whether it's legal or not, I don't know, but I've been doing it for a while now.
Really?
Every so often, just pick the races. And
Interesting.
we are, I have to say, due to my aunts, this is my aunt's fault, that we like the
The
ponies.
ponies.
And we have some favorite jockeys. Velasquez Castellano.
Oh, that jockey is.
And Velasquez, he put on a damn show. I won money, so that certainly helped.
Ponies.
I was a horse away from the super train.
Oh, really?
I was a little upset with that one.
Oh, because that was a third and fourth was so.
It's funny. We were sitting there. We had no sound. They didn't sound up,
Right.
and you couldn't tell. Like it sounded like there was an inquiry, but it didn't come up on the
It didn't come
screen.
up,
But
right.
they never shook up. And then they didn't update the standings. They were going,
Right.
something's up here. Something's up here.
Right.
And then they finally showed the 3-4.
Yeah, that was so
How
close.
close it got.
But that race, basically, those four horses were there from the beginning, through the whole race.
Yep.
I think the 4-horse might have come up a little bit later, but that jockey was, I don't know how that wasn't the favorite. That wasn't the favorite, that one, right?
Nope.
No, he wasn't.
He was up there. He was,
Yeah, but he's incredible. And the horse that came in second was that 26-1? There was one in
well,
there.
that's where I won money on.
Yeah, why not? You gotta throw some money on one of those puppies.
So when I usually do I get all the. I'm struggling today.
All the racing things. So
No, I get all the underdogs.
Oh,
and they
yes.
go into a group.
Oh, yes.
And then I have the mixes. Medina Spirit was the name of that horse. And
Yes.
Bob Baffert, pretty impressive. He, when you train an own horse.
Oh, yes.
He already. It's just impressive. that
He holds the record for the most Derby wins, right? Yeah.
I was trying to see the name of I was seeing the full results. Oh, here we go. Mandaloon.
I knew it was a weird name. I knew it was a.
And
All I could think of was Loon, and I was like,
for some reason, I think was Essential Quality the favorite.
yes, I think it was
Essential Quality.
because they kept showing him at the beginning.
That was great to watch. And then, we've had some decent baseball this week.
We've had some horrific baseball this week.
Yeah. So, just we have I don't know if the Yankees are on in front of us, but they were showing, there was a graphic, they were talking about pictures, and
Is this now? Are they playing now?
I don't know.
Doesn't say encore.
So, the funny part about what I saw a little while ago was that we were horse racing. They showed the pictures, and DeGrom came up, and they listed scratched.
Yeah.
Which is a horse racing term.
Right.
Scratched.
A dagger into my heart. But this is the second.
He'll be all right.
A couple weeks ago, the same thing happened, and it kind of made me think because it was also a scratched weekday start, and it pushed his next start to a Friday home game, I believe.
Yes.
And I said,
It's 5 o'clock at night. It has to be yesterday.
so it made me think. I'm saying maybe he's, and I'm not in any bad way. Listen, DeGrom can do pretty much whatever he wants in this town, and he deserves all of it. Maybe he's just trying to manipulate his timing between starts somehow, or.
Well, he did ask for the day, a week and a half ago.
Right.
So obviously something was going on.
Right.
He'll be fine. He's gonna be fine. Did you catch?
He's probably some back pain from carrying the team on his back.
No run support. But then they score the next two games. They score more runs
Right.
than they do in all of DeGrom's.
I heard there was a shot of him in the dugout when they scored the 6 runs in that inning, and evidently it was supposed to be pretty funny. I missed it, but
Last night's Yankee, did you catch that? I didn't.
miss that. Giancarlo Stanton seems to be coming out of it. I wish Joe was here. So,
Only because of the injury at home plate. I mean, that was pretty significant.
when they got
I don't know who it was. I just caught quickly.
It was
He
a
should
little
have
scary.
slid. He didn't slide.
But he
then
ran
he
it into him with his knee.
Well, the catcher essentially catcher's at fault. Catcher blocked the plate to dropped ball, reached over to get it.
Yeah, and took the knee in the head.
Right, and then whack, and then the Yankee flipped.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was not good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We hope everything's okay. And I think maybe it's time for a baseball show. Joe will be with us.
the last show was a baseball show.
I
The
understand.
opening day was a baseball
It was
show.
supposed to be opening day. The Mets hadn't even played yet.
That is true.
All we had was the dismal Yankee loss. So I think that Joe would probably love to come on here and talk
But
about
Joe will be back.
how well the Yankees are playing.
Joe's
Joe's welcome to.
Go ahead and do the show up. He's in. The Cyclones are back. I did see that.
Yeah,
the
their
Cyclones
season
are back.
started.
Staten Island Yankees are done.
Yeah.
We don't have a Staten Island Yankees are no more. However, they are. Interestingly enough, they're working on
that, right? A new
a
format.
minor league and then one of those XL football teams. I don't know what's going to happen there, but they're looking to bring some sort of sports. We shall see how that works. But it won't be an official minor league baseball team. We don't think at this point. But yeah, the Cyclones are back. So it just we get slowly.
Well, listen, the Mets shook it up. They shook it. They fired Chili Davis. They fired their head coach.
Yeah, that was interesting how that all came about.
Well, it was funny because the Sunday night game. First of all, I really don't like when the games are on ESPN. No shade to A-Rod and his little crew there.
I mute the games.
But I like to listen to the radio because, honestly, we have the best broadcasting in baseball. So you get a little spoiled. But they kept going on and on about how good the Mets hitting should be and how their approach at the plate is wrong. And they discussed about Lindor taking batting practice and how, he didn't agree with the way that he was approaching his practice by swinging at full speed at every pitch, and he should be trying to hit the ball to whatever different fields, and they just harped on it. I felt like the whole game, and so who knows? Maybe the Mets
you don't like them, so that doesn't help. So you don't want to listen to it.
I do.
And so you just sit there and you're like, really, they're still talking about this? Because you, not only did they hang on to it, you hung on to the fact that, I mute them. I don't listen to them.
It's difficult. And, listen, when A-Rod covered his first analyst job in the playoffs, I thought he did a great job. I really don't know what's happening.
It's the company. I don't think it's him.
It is the team.
Yeah, it's them as a
I don't think they kind of. And listen,
we're spoiled.
we're spoiled. There is no doubt that we are spoiled. We're spoiled.
So hey, I want to pivot
Period.
because before we end, the last 2 weekends we had youth bowlers competing in state championships.
We
Killed it again. Our kids did fantastic. 2 state champions in the Pepsi Cola Championship, Brianna Mester and Maya Aviles. Congratulations, ladies. They lit the lanes up tremendously. Maya had a 289 and a 296 game. Brianna averaged 230 something. Just incredible bowling.
great bowling.
Up in Rome, New York. And then that same weekend, 2 youth bowlers finished 5th place. Julian Rodriguez and
Justin Arenas.
All earning scholarships. The girls won a $2,000 scholarship. The Justin and Julianne won a $200 scholarship for their placement. We had a nice showing, and then this past weekend we were in Syracuse for the youth team championships, and certainly a nice showing there too. The little guys, Thomas,
The favorite.
Wilkinson,
Love those
Taylor
little guys.
Wonderlick, Robert Lever, and Mr. Luke Froome. They almost all came home with about something.
Yes.
As a team, they did all right.
But I talked to your brother about this. Watching them go through their first experience, especially when you're a parent, it is priceless. It's just As a coach, it's priceless to watch the parents with their kids and how different parents kind of deal with their kids.
Oh.
And
We had 4 very different parents.
yeah.
And 2 of them are kind of the same. I'm like, are you kidding me? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then my brother's just like, oh.
Oddly,
Oddly.
your brother was, when he told me the story about his approach, and I was like, very proud of you, Tommy. I was very proud of him.
Tommy's a good, the kids are good. Thomas, Kayla, and I believe Robert Lieber
Yes, they
had
had
plaques for high games and high series in their age group.
Right.
Julianne Rodriguez, both fantastic also. She had high series for her age group, I believe, and they finished in 4th out of the team, just shy. I think they were 30 pins shy of 3rd place. And then the scratch team, Brianna, Joseph, Nicholas, Handog, and
Frank Colby.
Frank Copey. I think they finished in 4th or 5th also. They had a nice out.
Close. Listen, that's tough.
Was scratch?
That was
Baseball
scratch
Those
team,
are
yeah.
my 2 teammates.
That's right. And then the we don't have results from the state adult junior tournament, but many of them bowled. They did all right. They'll probably they might place in the top 10 or so, but we'll see. But it's a fantastic weekend where kids from all over the state.
If you take your mask off, right?
Can I?
Where they
We're all vaccinated.
I have all my teeth in? Oh, wait.
oh God, you remember that, right? Of course. So really 2 good weekends, and then this Saturday we have a bunch of kids competing in New York State Youth
Scholarship in
South Glensport.
Glensport.
So good luck to them. It is state tournament season. Before you know it, we'll be honoring all of them soon. And we had 6 scholarship winners in the New York State Youth Scholarship Program. 2 of them won $2,000 scholarship. Haley, Nicole, Rourke, and then a few of the little ones. So congratulations to them.
Yeah,
We're excited for them. And before we know it, the new season will begin.
I can't wait, honestly. I just think it'll be like a nice, fresh, clean slate for everybody to just kind of get back in. People who took the time off to come back and expose this sport and our programs to the new kids that are going to be looking for something to do. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited.
We get there.
We are getting
So
there.
stay tuned. We'll have as soon as we know more on the changes and the restrictions, as usual, we'll be here. We'll share them. This is a little bit of a difficult time because now it's the social acceptance, and so what will be the social acceptance? Are we ready? Oh, and if you're not, okay, now you're really going to make a choice. If you didn't make a choice before, and so I think this is going to actually be the toughest time for people as we come out of this to decide, okay, am I out right? Am I in?
In or out?
Or I'm out. Where before you kind of teeter.
You're right. You can kind of dabble.
Now you're not going to have that choice. You can wear your mask before, whatever, but there's certain things you're not going to be able to avoid.
Right.
So let's see. We can't let our guard down. We're still in this. We're coming out. So we'll see. We'll be continue with our updates.
Yes.
We'll be back here at some point next week, I think.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe we'll be. Frank, I kind of liked being at the bar.
Yeah, the only bad thing is there's nobody else in the bar.
Well,
that's
it's
what
early,
makes
Frank.
it
It's
today.
early.
She's always like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we hope that you get to enjoy your margaritas, your taco. It's not Taco Tuesday, it's Taco Wednesday today. So now you do Taco Tuesday. Do you do Taco Tuesday and Wednesday, or do you move your Taco Tuesday to Wednesday because it's Cinco de Mayo?
Listen, if you're a Taco Tuesday person, you do Taco Tuesday and you do Taco Wednesday. I'm not a Taco Tuesday person.
And Margarita Wednesday. I mean, it's Margarita Wednesday.
And great, I can throw some tacos on there.
So if you're bowling tonight, you're around this Cinco de Mayo margarita jello shots. We can't give her a drink. I think you need to eat something.
Well, don't start. There's no restriction. I don't have to.
Either
Well, yeah, I'm gonna eat something. I'm gonna have my jello shot.
Either that or give her another one.
Yeah, I got work.
So hey,
So
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. It's wow. It's May 5th.
can you imagine that? Yesterday was May the 4th. Be with you.
And also with you.
May the 4th, it's like Star Wars Day. So there were plenty of funny Star Wars memes, which I got.
I did not partake this.
Quite
I
a
was,
kick
I
out of
was
just looking at them, so.
yeah, I wasn't feeling it yesterday, but that's usually what
Kind
I
of
do.
rough couple.
I saw a lot of cool pictures of t-shirts and masks and
Yes.
everybody with their socks. And I did not wear my Yoda socks yesterday. I'm kind of disappointed.
Well,
I'm disappointed in myself. That's right, next year. You wear the wrong one.
Gotta give ourselves a little bit of grace.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you
Enjoy.
next week.
Have some tacos and
I want
margaritas and
tacos. Where would we have tacos? I'm not ordering out tacos tonight. That's gonna be a disaster.
yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
I would have had to be prepared for that already.
Yeah.
Be very poorly prepared for
Oh,
this.
things happen.
Bye, everybody.
That was awesome.